Hey everybody, I'm excited to have Matthew Query with Freedom Home Services with us today for the Business Spotlight interview. I'm Brent Thompson here at Action Coach Lake Norman. We're your local training, education, and business coaching firm. So it's great to have you today, Matthew. Just do me a favor, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your company and the many services that you offer to the marketplace here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Brent. I really appreciate it very much. I do own Freedom Home Services, been in business for about 8 years. We are a licensed home inspection firm in North and South Carolina. Also have a little bit of a side arm to do commercial inspections. It's called Anchor Commercial, but it's basically just for Google searches. So yeah, thank you.
Good. So you've been in business for a little bit. So I want you to think back when you got going, starting back with at square one. What is something that you maybe would do differently?
Marketing, 100%. Yeah. So you probably maybe have heard the phrase you can't pour new wine into old wineskins.
Correct?
Well, that's what I tried to do, and it didn't work out very well. And honestly, I think I'm still recovering from it a little bit. But when I started, I've been in business, or I'd been in the home building and home construction field for, I guess 12 years or 15 years, somewhere in there,
Mhm.
in this area, and had developed a lot of great networks. And so I was able to reach out to those networks and say, hey, I'm doing home inspections now. And naturally got business, did social media, kind of wasn't really paid social media, and then grew like 110% in 2020
Mhm.
and didn't really have a marketing team and thought, we're good.
Right.
So yeah, if I could do it over again, I would very, very quickly hire a marketing person.
Got it. No, and that kind of leads into the next question. Like what have been some of your biggest learnings as a business owner and maybe just as an employer as well with some team aspects going on? What's some things that maybe you've learned since you started business? I'm sure there's a few.
Yeah, definitely. So one of my key principles within my company is to fail forward. Some people actually hate that phrase, but I love it because if you think about it from a home inspector's standpoint, we're asked to go in and look at thousands of components and lots of different systems in a house where we may not have even been alive when that thing was actually built, right? I've inspected homes that were built in the 1700s. How do you inspect something like that? Well, you look it up. Sometimes you're gonna hopefully not miss anything, but you may encounter a situation that you're just not used to. We're okay with that, and I think that that's been a really a big key to our growth is that we're not afraid to say, "Hey, I'm not entirely sure. This doesn't look right. Something ain't right here."
Hmm.
Um, but I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna find out what the answer is because I don't want to put it in the report if it's truly not a problem. Maybe it was just the way that something was built. I'm gonna ask somebody who has more experience than me. So that's been a really a big key to success, I would say. And then just kind of rolling with the punches. I was actually in 2020 when COVID hit. It was really, really scary for everybody, right? I mean, we go into people's houses. What are we going to do? Um, and so, fortunately, we were tied in with a coaching service like what you guys offer, and they were able to kind of guide us on how to do that. And so, having a coach is huge, um, because you get into business and it's an island. You probably have heard other people say that you're on an island on your own. Not a lot of people are out there that really want to help you to succeed unless they aren't in a competing business. But if you have a business coach, they can kind of guide you on things that can work. And that was one of the things. And so we were able to uh, glean that from other people that they were coaching. And so we started changing the way we did things and the marketing and the emails and the notifications and all the stuff that we send out just to let people know that we were being safe so that it wouldn't turn people off to letting us in their home. And like I said, we grew 110% that year. So it worked.
Yeah.
So
No,
couple things.
great. No, I'll second the motion there for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So yeah, like you were saying, that's what we do. We work with business owners, and there's a lot of misconceptions out there about being a business owner from the outside looking in. What are some of those misconceptions that maybe you've come across that people that maybe don't own a business but look at you as a business owner? What are some of those misconceptions, and how do you address those?
Yeah. If you're thinking you're going to be self-employed and you're going to work less and make more, that is just totally wrong. Um, I want to control my own time. Okay.
Mhm.
That's probably a huge fallacy for self-employment. There definitely is an aspect of that that's true. If my kid has a game or something that gets changed, certainly I can change my own schedule, right? It is my company. I can do that.
Mhm.
But ultimately we are, a slave to the people that we work for. And some people don't have as much respect for the fact that you have a family, and they will try to contact you at all hours of the day and night,
Yeah.
and on weekends. And so um, to get into business and think that you're not going to have a boss is just wrong.
Right.
So, and that was honestly part of the reason I wanted to get into business for myself. I wanted to be my own boss, and I am,
Yeah.
but you still work for people.
Right.
So,
You still have a few responsibilities, right? Even as a business owner.
uh-huh. Yep, yep. Yeah, and then, once you take on employees,
Hmm.
um, I think I thought, hey, if I bring on more employees, I'm going to grow. This is going to be great. I'll make more money. I'll be providing a, opportunity for other people to make money. But people are hard.
Yeah.
Employees are difficult. I've had some really great employees. I've had some really terrible employees. And um, fortunately, I had already heard about a method that Dave Ramsey kind of promotes with hiring slow, firing fast.
Right.
But also through my mentoring service that I was with, they kind of provided some guidance on, the different steps to go through. And we go through 5 or 6 different types of interviews with candidates that are coming on board.
Mhm.
But even then, I mean, I like people, and so I'm a terrible interviewer because, like, you and I mean, I would probably hire you because you really seem like a nice guy. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's
You
it's
have to give it
tough.
time.
It's tough
Hmm.
to bring people on, and you just don't know what you don't know until you really get into it. I had one guy quit on me. Great guy. Went to his first crawl space and was like, nope, that's not for me.
Yeah. Pretty big
So
deal there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Well,
so
let's
I changed something in my business. I said, all right, anybody who's going to come and be a candidate, one of their interviews is going to be at a crawl space house.
yeah.
So,
Yes. Lessons
live
learned.
and learn,
Yes,
fail
lessons
forward.
learned for sure. Let me stay on that line just a little bit
Yeah.
with employees. What are some qualities that you look for in employees, and kind of piggybacking on that as well? How do you foster a positive culture or in work environment with your company?
Yeah, great question. So part of it is the interview process, right? Um, it's not necessarily what you know that impresses me, because again, like I said at the beginning, we're inspecting houses that we were never even born when they were built. Um, it's a it's a personality thing for me
Hmm.
with and this is probably different for anybody. Like, we are customer facing. I want somebody who has a good personality, who can talk to people, who isn't weird. You talk to some people and you just feel weird. Like, they're nice people, but you still feel weird.
Hmm.
Those aren't people for me.
Right.
We are trying to convey some very, very difficult information in a short amount of time. And I want somebody who can be able to convey that.
Right.
I can teach other stuff. They can come alongside me and learn the things that I've learned over 20 years of being in residential construction. So, what was your second question
As
on
far as
in that vein?
culture, yeah, just fostering a
Yes,
positive work environment and culture in your company.
yes, 100%. So, being willing to fail forward yourself and take on advice from
Mhm.
employees. I've sent out emails and said, "Hey, I'm really struggling with this whole mileage thing. You know, I want to be fair, but we also have to turn a profit. And so,
Right.
do you have some ideas of what that would look like?" Um, that really fosters a culture of like, wow, this. I mean, boss really cares. Like, he really wants to make things better for us.
Yeah.
Um, I Another kind of culture element is, if you bring me a problem, bring me a solution too,
Mhm.
right? So like, yeah, we're gonna run across problems all the time. I don't want to hear about them because I probably already know.
Right.
Come to me with, hey, I saw this, but I've got a couple of ideas. What do you think? You know?
Yeah.
And so that has been really, really big. Just being able to kind of, open door policy type thing. But people say open door policy, and it's really not open door. Like, you walk in, you're like, well, I've got this idea. Nope, I don't care. You know, we're a corporation. We can't do that. We're gonna make that change. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't make sense. I wanna do the right thing and then figure it out on the back end.
No, that's good. Just when people feel valued, it's they will
Yeah.
go so much further, and that's how we should be with everybody in general, not just business, but
Yes.
obviously a lot doesn't happen that way, and it's good to hear
Yeah.
that you are doing it that way. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, couple more things. We'll start wrapping it
Yeah.
up. What words of advice would you give those that are out there ready to jump in to starting their own business? Maybe it's something they're super passionate about and they're going to go do that, or maybe it's something that's new and it's an opportunity that's come along their way. If they're jumping into something and going to start their own business, be a business owner,
Mhm.
entrepreneur, what are some words of advice that you would give that person?
Well, I don't want to sound like you're paying me to say this, but get a coach. I mean, I mean,
It
honestly,
helps.
that has been huge for me, to be in a coaching scenario. But I'll tell you, I refer this book all the time. Um, it's Procrastinate on Purpose. Uh, Amazing book.
Yeah.
Changed my life really, and my mentality, shifted my mentality, and it's not what you think. So I don't know if you've read that book or not, but I would highly
I've read it. I've
recommend it.
heard of it. Yeah.
Yes, and essentially, it talks about a lot of what even John Eldridge has, not John Eldridge, John Maxwell
Well,
has talked about before, in surrounding himself with people that are better than him.
right.
It's kind of a similar philosophy, but it's not, because as a business owner, when you become a business owner, you're the accountant, you're the payroll guy, you're the guy who does your HR, you deal with all the disciplinary stuff. Uh, you're also working in the business as well as trying to work on the business. And as quickly as possible, it is beneficial to a new business owner to put that stuff onto somebody else. Get a coach, get an accountant, get a banker,
Hmm.
get all these things. Get somebody to mow your lawn. I actually like to mow my lawn, so I didn't do that. So I'm not, I want to put that out there because I do mow my lawn.
Yeah.
But for example, just things that don't bring you joy, right? Things that, or you just genuinely stink at, you're just terrible at.
Yeah.
Um, get somebody else to do those things as quickly as possible. And the mentality, the mental shift is, um, well, that costs money. It does, but what is your time worth? And I think maybe a second nugget is that business owners, and myself included, don't put a value on their time to what
Right.
it's actually worth.
Hmm.
I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
Struggling, to say, all right, well, I'm going to charge you X amount of dollars per hour. Ooh, that's a lot of money, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm worth it. I know I'm worth it.
Yeah.
And even if you're just getting into business for yourself, you should have that same type of worth, and convey that, because ultimately, if you don't, you're going to attract, bottom feeders for customers, and those people are the ones who drag you down with them, and they become more problems than they were worth in the beginning. You negotiated a price down, you sold yourself short, and now you're dealing with them a year later with all of their complaints or warranty or whatever,
I do know.
So,
Yeah,
yep,
sure. I do know. No, those are
yep,
great nuggets for aspiring entrepreneurs. So thank you for sharing those. And
yep,
all right, we're
absolutely.
gonna wrap it up with this right here. So, what's the best way for someone to find you or get in touch with you if they are in need of you and your services?
Yeah, I'm on all the social medias. So, well, not all of them, the major ones: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can also email me through our website, freedomhsllc.com.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being with
Absolutely.
us today. And you rocked it out. We appreciate you and what you're doing in the community.
Thank
And we
you. Thank you for what you do.
certainly wish you all the best in the future going forward.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You got it, bud. Have a good day.
You too.